Welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, and welcome, know that this is going to be a shadow healing channel. So we look at the inner child wounds, we look at the shadows, we look and see how you can reparent those, but we focus on the karmic themes. Like, why is your relationship unfolding the way that it is? Why are certain events playing out the way that they are? How are you contributing to those undesirable life experiences that are keeping you stuck in a place of disempowerment, keeping you stuck in a place of fear, making you feel as if you can't have a good relationship, that you can't experience love, that you can't have abundance? We want to look and see what the blocks are in your life so that you can integrate those blocks. Because when you integrate the spiritual wounds, a lot of times they turn to spiritual gifts. First, what they allow us to do is they allow us to see ourselves differently, which is very healing, especially if all we've seen is failure or making us feel limited or not good enough, not having enough. Over time, we feel shameful. We feel, again, like there's something wrong with us, but like there's like we're not good enough, like we're defective. So in order to integrate the spiritual lesson, it's not just about the awareness. On this channel, I give you the awareness. And if you purchase one of my subscriptions, then you get PDFs, and you get a lot of other like healing modalities that help you do the shadow work. But if you don't do any subscriptions, know that on this channel we create awareness, but you are your own healer. So unless you again apply certain habits and behaviorisms and to rebalance your energy, you will not fully heal. See, a lot of people always say that they know what's blocking them, but they don't know what they have to do to fix it. They're like, I forgive already. I let that go. I haven't been angry with my family in years, or I've gotten over that person, but the energy is still with them. And the energy is still with them because the subconscious mind holds on to any trauma until we actually fully learn. And what we learn is that we feel strong within ourselves. At one time, we've gone through an experience. I mean, how wounds are created is that we've gone through an experience that has made us feel, like I said, disempowered, which is pretty much fearful, because anything that keeps us out of alignment with our true self, which is that God part of self, which is the unconditional love, is the energy of the universe. It's when we're the most relaxed, when we can, again, receive intuitive guidance. If we're stressed out and we're in the survival mind, then we're not in the creative mind. And so understand, a lot of times when we are in the survival mind, we're not really coming from a balanced place, obviously. Now, it's up to us to learn how to rebalance ourselves when we get out of those traumatic experiences. And the problem is most of us don't know how to do that because we haven't been educated from a spiritual perspective on how to have good spiritual hygiene. And now more than ever before, we've come to a place within our evolution where we really need to incorporate our spiritual healing, so we have good spiritual hygiene, so that we attract the right things into our life, so that we don't react. See, when we have spiritual wounds, and now again, this zodiac, by the way, is going to be for, who should I make it be for today? I'm going to say, you know what? I just looked. And I want to say, like, before I jump in again, I'm going to say Cancer. This zodiac is going to be for Cancer. Now, if you landed on this video And you're not a Cancer. Well, guess what? You were probably meant to hear this message, because the spiritual energy goes to the person that needs to hear the message. Doesn't mean you want to hear the message. It means that you need to hear the message. So reactive, this could be you or your person. You are connected to someone that's very reactive, but I'm actually feeling like both of you are reactive. So you could be dealing with a soulmate twin flame that is not 100% healed. And I feel like when a person isn't healed, they hear things through distorted perceptions. They hear things through their wound. Now, I also feel like you also hear things through your wound. Not uncommon for a soulmate twin flame, right? Because spiritual relationships are come into our life to teach us about unconditional love, surrender. Because a lot of times when we get in a relationship, we get triggered. We want things to be our way. And that's kind of what I feel like you were dealing with someone that isn't used to being in a good relationship. So they, again, were coming from a place of their wound. And the problem with that is that obviously there's a lot of things wrong with that. It makes this person like is coming from a place of survival. So they don't really believe that they can have love because, again, what has happened? So they've brought in their baggage from all the past relationships. So until they actually clear that, that will continue to happen. And I feel like when they don't get the response that they want, they do things. So you're dealing with very immature energy. That's just the energy that we're dealing with. And I feel like for you, you normally do react. And again, and I feel like you have gotten, like, again, triggered, but you didn't react. You got triggered. So you know that there is a wound, but it means that you've done more healing than the person that you're connected to. So if you're in separation from this person, I'm feeling as if they've come to a place where they realize that maybe they were the toxic one. Because you are not doing anything. I'm not feeling like you're doing anything. Now we're going to look at the inner child wounds, just because, again, if this is a soulmate twin flame relationship, we know that this person is going to come back. Because soulmate twin flames, if this person is healed, we'll see. But we want to see what we're dealing with, because we'll see how it triggers you and what your inner child wound is. It's not really to find out what about the other person, though the information is helpful in dealing with that person, but the triggers will allow us to see what your wounds are. And really, that's what you're concerned about, believe it or not, even though you may say, well, I was actually here because I want to find out about the person that I'm interested in. You will, but more importantly, you will find out about yourself and what needs to be healed, especially if you're dealing with this type of energy, because this is, again, a little bit of a low vibe energy. People that are not healed and they come from a reactive place, they're coming from a place of anger. They've gotten triggered. And so they'll be manipulative. They can gaslight, they can be shady. And this is toxic energy if the person doesn't heal. And if you're going to be right there and be open-hearted and expect this person to be different, which we're going to see, that's going to obviously cause problems. So let's look at their inner child wounds. Okay, a rebellion. And that's, again, so they, again, don't want to go with the flow. They purposely go against everything. So people that were brought up in abusive households, and where they were not really allowed to talk about certain things that went on, they hid that, like being brought up by an alcoholic parent, having a parent that molested you, having a parent that, again, real root chakra imbalance, where a person doesn't feel safe, and they never felt safe. And they didn't feel safe because the parents that they had didn't create that structure. So they were taught not to trust their parents. This is where the inner child wound came from. So relationships are going to be really difficult for this person. you know, because they're gonna think that you're controlling them. When you're not really controlling them, you might want to have a conversation. And I feel like this is why your person got triggered, because you could have just said, hey, let's get together, like to go out to dinner, or you could have said, let's go here. And they were looking at it like you're telling me what to do. So this is, again, bringing their baggage from a past relationship into this relationship. And with a root chakra imbalance, then the person that gets triggered like that, it's again rebellious. They're purposely trying to get underneath your skin. Now, for all fairness, I'm going to put the rebellious back into this deck. And we're going to look and see what your wound is. Now, you could have more than one, but we're going to do one wound at a time because it would be too confusing. Okay. Innocence. So you're a little bit naive. You could be, I feel like, a highly sensitive person. You're an empath. So, of course, like when this person is deliberately being mean, like you're giving them, I feel like you were giving them second and third chances, thinking that they just didn't understand. You were looking at them through your consciousness, which is, I just want to treat people the way that, you know, I would like to be treated. And this is how I think that you would do it. And I think that you're a nice person because we have a connection, and because, again, I can feel that you care about me. This person does have feelings for you. Feelings and behaviorisms and triggers are two different things. The problem is when a person has wounds, their actions don't match their words. So this person does have feelings, but they're kind of like the fact that you're innocent, like it'll come from that place that you're pure, that you don't judge them, that you're not looking for problems. But in that, we see two totally different paradox energies: a person that doesn't like who they are, and a person that, you know, is clear, but might not have gone out into the world and dated that much. So hasn't been around that many people to experience this type of behavior, because that's unfortunately the way that we learn. And you could have also been sheltered. I'm feeling like for some of you, a lot of you were not comfortable in your body. Now, no, when you're dealing with somebody that's shady, they tend to be promiscuous too. Now, I'm sure for some was not just flirty, but for others was full on like that. And so there's a sense that they tend to get what they want. They're very smooth, but I don't really feel like you fall for that. And they also don't feel comfortable approaching you like that because you're not promiscuous. You don't come across that way. This is what I'm feeling. So let's just look at some of the shadows and then the triggers. And then we'll see exactly what your person's going to do. But understanding what they're going to do, we get to understand it because we're looking at their inner child wounds and their spiritual blocks, their shadows. Then we're able to understand why their behaviorisms are what they are. Adrift, not willing to settle down or be responsible. So again, this person didn't want to commit. They wanted to purposely be rebellious. They weren't ready to do that. Distant, so far away, physically and emotionally. So again, they came close enough to you to make sure that you got a connection to them. But they refuse to get a connection to you, an emotional connection. They purposely tried to do that, but I feel like they still have feelings for you. They just didn't want, they just want everything on their side, but now everything's crumbling like what they thought that they wanted. They wanted that free lifestyle. They wanted to be able to come in and out of your life. And what they see is that you weren't putting up with it, like I said. And so again, escape. Love is an emotional escape for you. Be sure you are getting involved for the right reasons. So this could be, again, their thing is that they have very addictive behavior. So it's like, what we know is that when a person doesn't feel good about themselves, they tend to get in codependent relationships. So, and this person, like you said, that you're connected to, gave you enough to make sure that you were like almost connected to them, or perceive that you were a lot more connected to them because they really had a strong connection to you. So they assume that you had a very strong connection to them, but I feel like you never trusted them because of the in and out. Like they were distant. They purposely held back information. They purposely are secretive. They purposely didn't give a lot. I feel like, again, this person is very immature. So they played a lot of games. And so thinking that you would give them more, that you were going to chase them. And so avoidance, and now they're avoiding you. It's again because you called their bluff. Because you knew that they were always lying. It's like, but now it's time to take a step back and breathe, because it's like you already saw who they are, and the hard part is over. I feel like this person tried to play you, X Factor, and they pretend to be like a lot closer with their exes. This person can't be in a relationship. When they're in a relationship with the person, they're not nice to the person. And as soon as the relationship is over, that's when they can be nice to the person. This person is emotionally not available. And they purposely are that way. And it's like, and then they're like, well, you judged me. They have like a very big chip on their shoulder. So you can't even say anything to them. If you say anything to them in any other way, because they're so blocked and they hear everything and they view everything through the distorted perceptions, they just think that no one likes them because they don't really like how they're living. They don't. Gaslighting. And it's, again, you knew that that's what this person was continuously doing. And I feel like that normally works. And this person normally is able to bring down a lot of people. It feeds their ego. This person's very angry. This person is very rebellious in a way where they're just so angry that there's a part of them that's like, they don't care whether they hurt anybody. They just, and I'm saying that is because they're very selfish. They don't want to be in any type of committed relationship. They lie, and then when it's time to talk about problems, they avoid, they twist it around, they gaslight. Now that you're not in their life, I can see why you can breathe. Well, we're going to look and see what your person's actually going to do, because or the person that you're here for, I should say, because this person, I don't feel like they're for anybody, to be honest with you. I need to be strong in who I am before I can merge my energy. I'm afraid I could lose myself in this relationship. So they again know that this connection is very strong, but they have intimacy issues. So they purposely try to get a person to give them their energy, and then what happens is they run away. I feel insecure and it's pushing me to grow. Yeah, they feel insecure because you walked away and you were like, I don't care, I'm not putting up with this shit. And so it is like helping them, but we incarnate together to clear specific patterns from our ancestral bloodlines. I feel like this person came from very toxic, codependent parents. And so they learn never to trust their parents. And their parents were abusive to each other, abusive to them, how they made them feel. They have a chip on their shoulder, mainly because of the way that they were brought up. And really, this relationship is supposed to allow them to help them to break karmic lessons. If they would do it right, unconditional love makes us do what we normally wouldn't do. When we have feelings for someone and like a person that are attracted to someone, that's what makes us change a lot of times. Our energy is stagnant, triggers sometimes happen to break the stagnant. And so this person, again, like when they are like obsessed with drama. This is what this says, because again, they're never really comfortable when every day they're in a relationship and the humdrum, you go to work, you come home, and you actually are just comfortable with someone. This person isn't comfortable in themselves. And so when things are like, there's no drama in the house, they create drama. And it's because they are not comfortable with any type of consistency. They're not comfortable with allowing you to feel safe in their relationship because they don't really want to show up for themselves. So, but what happens is that when you're in a relationship with someone that purposely does all this, gaslights, tries to get things on their terms, only cares about themselves, well, it's again, what was happening was you were detaching, you weren't reacting. And so what this person does is they deliberately go out of their way to create problems. So it creates a trigger. So the energy isn't stagnant. So you're no longer ignoring them anymore. So we see exactly how toxic this person is. It's again, I know the universe works in mysterious ways, but sometimes I judge this situation instead of surrender to it. And that's them. They know that you have come into their life for a reason. They see their spiritual blocks. They see the things that they need to change. And they don't know whether or not, again, that they can do it. It's again, they get triggered. I watch you on social media, and the internet is my way of staying close and finding out more about you. So again, they're so emotionally not intelligent, they have to stalk you instead of actually being in a relationship because they don't want anyone that close to them because they're afraid of getting hurt. It's again, but so what this person does is that they want a relationship, they want you to be in their life. They don't know how you can be in their life without losing themselves a little bit. Because of you, I'm starting to see what is really important in life. And that's because you detached from them and there is love there. It's not like there isn't. It's just, there's so much pain. There's so many things that this person needs to heal. Well, look at the hidden truths, because this person is like, they know who you are and they know why, but everything triggers them. They need to do a lot of healing. But just because a person needs a lot of healing doesn't necessarily mean that they don't really have deep love or that their intention is bad. They could just have spiritual blocks. Nevertheless, you wouldn't like your karma. So we will be looking at that after, but I always like to look at the hidden truths and be like, I know that even though this person has a lot of blocks, when it's a spiritual connection, we still would like to know what the intention is, whether or not this person is intentionally or they really don't have any control. Like, to me, what I saw was that they were intentionally doing it. Again, but remember, a person wouldn't want to get a reaction if they didn't really care. I wish I had treated you better. You came closer than anyone. So many things remind me of you. So like they're in a place where, again, that they're looking back on the relationship and they're seeing their mistakes. They miss not having you in their life. Is what I saw before that on the, and there is feelings there. I just feel like person has a lot of wounds first and foremost. So we'll look And let's see exactly what they're going to do, if they're going to do anything at all. Because like I said, it'll always be your choice what you do. But if the person is not healed, I mean, you can't expect them to treat you with the respect and the love and give you the energy and the respect that you deserve, because they don't know how to do it for themselves. But again, this relationship has created an awareness, because they said, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't change. And I know that what this relationship is. It's one that is supposed to help me and change me, but it's triggering me because it means that I have to relinquish control, and I don't think I can do that. Okay, Five of Swords. Okay, shifting the energy. I'm happy with that, because Five of Swords is all about that, and harmony is restored. So your person is going to try, and that shocked the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie, because I thought that their ego was big. But what this is saying is that your person's really not going to be able to stay away from you. They feel guilty. They feel bad at how they treated you. And I think that that is, number one, an awareness, like, which they've never really had, right? It's like they're used to treating people this way. They don't normally care. They care. So they also miss not having you in their life. They're also reflecting on how bad that they treated you, and so they want to come in and make it up to you. Queen of Wands. And because they see you as being different, they see you as being unique. They're seeing you as, like, again, like almost like their muse, someone that has taught them, again, someone that has higher energy. And Six of Swords, they really believe that better times are coming, are ahead, that's what they want to make it. They want to make it up to you. So let's see what you're going to do, because like I said, and then we'll see what you should do, what the universe says. Now, for everybody, it's going to be different, right? Let's face it. It's a soulmate. It's a strong connection. And I know that if this person is shifting, and they are, again, soulmates come into the life to create awareness, to change. And that's what this person was very, look on it, look at this, I love you, was on the top of the deck. So I believe that there is a lot of unconditional love here, in spite of everything that your person did. And that's the thing with it. When people say, why do I still care about this person? Why do I? Because it's a real soul's connection, and soul's connections are karmic. So we're going to look and see exactly what you would need to do to deal with this situation, because this person coming back, and you have feelings for this person. I mean, for those of you that don't, it's not your reading. But for those of you that do, we want to know what to do to deal with this, because it's, you can't just say, I'm not going to have the person in my life. We can't control it. That's the whole thing with unconditional love. It can't be destroyed. It can't be manipulated. Yes, you can do mind over heart, but it's going to create a lot of pain. And so, is there another option? Yeah, you can be in the relationship, but you have to be balanced within it. And there's certain things that you would need to do. So let's see what Spirit says that you would have to do. I'm Spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. So again, this person represents unconditional love. So yes, every time you get triggered, every time they get triggered, it's telling you both, you need healing. You have blocks. It's not to react. It's to, again, look at why you're getting triggered. That's why you're getting this type of person, that there is unconditional love. You also need to be taught how to forgive. I mean, how do we get close to love? Well, we have to become the energy of love. And that is, a lot of times, bringing in a soulmate twin flame aligns us, because we're excited, there's all this passion. But what it does too is, because there is that, and your person is not reacting the way that you want them to, and you're not reacting the way that they want you to, especially when people are triggered by each other, well, then it creates a lot of hurt feelings. So we then need to go deeper inward to really look at those blocks and say, why did I get triggered? Because the answer is not to change a person, it's to change why that block is, again, whatever that's blocking you. That belief with that person might have not made you feel good enough. They might have made you feel not enough, not whatever it is, not good enough, not pretty enough, not having enough, whatever it is. Maybe you felt like they didn't respect you. Whatever it is, we allow what happens. So that person came into your life and they did that. It didn't mean that they intentionally did that a lot of times too, if they have a block in it. With this reading, I would say that sometimes your person will deliberately do that. Again, they trigger because they want to create the energy. So your key is to know that this person is deliberately doing that and to not react. Because if you react, the more that they're going to do it. When you don't react, it doesn't feed them. But when you, again, feel that trigger, it does allow you to look and see what needs to be healed within yourself. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. So it's, again, that this relationship is all about that. Consciousness is, again, that higher consciousness of unconditional love. So we wouldn't know exactly what that looked like because we all have our own ideas of what unconditional love is. So this is saying is like, continue to do whatever it takes. And that's not just within your relationships. It's whatever you need to do. Like it might be to volunteer. It might mean to, again, love yourself more, to give yourself more, because again, your frame of mind determines your level of consciousness. And so, and our wounds are where we react when we haven't healed, when those wounds just attract more of the same type of energy and that wound kind of just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Our triggers are there to create awareness for us to actually do whatever it takes to heal it, so that we can, again, become that energy of unconditional love. And one more thing, because this isn't an easy relationship. This person is not on your vibration. They are a little bit below your vibration. But apparently, if Spirit's bringing you in to this relationship, there's something in it for you to heal. And this person is on the verge of raising their vibration. And possibly you are too. Okay, so vitality. I am a being of light. I accept the divine energy in my body and every one of my cells regenerates. So again, know that you are like one with spirit. And just being true to you. Being true. I am true to myself and others. I remove my mask and stop creating illusions. I have confidence in who I am, and I reveal the good in me. I do not need to hide or prove anything. I replace shame with the power of love and trust. So it's, again, by you being true to yourself, which I see that you were true because you didn't put up with this. That's why your person's on their way back, because you taught them, and what they saw is, obviously, once the relationship was over, they realized your importance to them. So it's to continue to be true and not react when this person triggers you, because they are going to trigger you. But it's, again, the relationship has really come together for the divine purpose of healing both of you. Because that is really the universal panacea, that magic pill. The magic pill is unconditional love. And like I said, we wouldn't volunteer. We have no control over who we fall in love with. And we think that we can control it. Your person thought that they could control it. And now what happened is you called their bluff and they're a little bit embarrassed, and they, and it made them really look at themselves like, could I do this? I don't even know if I could do this. And then they were like, you know what? I'm miserable. I'm on my way back. And so understand, you were true to you, you get good results. You'll be continuously getting good results when you're true to you. And that is how your person then steps up, because you give them the confidence for them to be true to themselves too, instead of, these breadcrumbing and not really giving enough and being too worried about losing their power instead of actually living. And that's why we're here. We're down in physical form here to learn. And we learn best through our connections, through love. I'm going to leave that there. Now, if you resonated with this, Cancer, give me a like, comment. Again, the word reactive. We see, again, big problem. This person reacted. And when they reacted without thinking, they never thought that you were going to react that way. And it was good for you that you did get triggered, but you didn't react in a negative way. You just did what? And that forced them. So we see the whole story unfold in a way that was very empowering. And again, taught this person, like you said, you gave this person a role model. They think that you're their muse now, that you're creative, that you're moxie, that like you're brave, and all things that they want to be. So that's what these relationships do. They raise our vibration by changing our character. All right, I'm going to leave that there for you. Remember, if you like the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and write the word in your comment bar. And I'll see you guys all soon. Bye-bye.